خلي اللمة بابتسامة أحلى. استعمل ليسترين مرتين باليوم لأسنان أقوى ولثة أكثر صحة.
Good evening, everyone. DTM Roy, welcome. Toastmaster Harris, welcome. Good to have you here, sir. It's a pleasure to have you here, both of you.
Good evening, Toastmaster Asad.
Good evening, sir. How's everything at your end?
It's perfectly fine.
Nice.
When was the last time that we had a meeting?
Good evening,
I mean, the
guys.
Mabuhay Toastmasters Club had a meeting.
Yeah, there has been a dry patch. We were like sort of in a mini hibernation.
Yeah,
The last time we met, yeah, the
I was
last time
kind
we
of
met,
looking
it was in
for.
December.
Oh, in December. That's
Yeah,
good.
in December actually, yeah.
I was
Good
kind of
evening,
looking
DTM
for
Roy. How are
the
you?
meeting
Yes.
winners last. I was kind of looking for the meeting winners last meeting.
Actually, it was a contest last time.
It was a contest.
It was a contest last time when we met. It on 9th December. Yeah, it was a contest, and then yeah, we hit a like a dry patch a little bit, but now we're back in this month of love. So let's kickstart and love start our journey again into Toastmasters.
Yeah,
That's the
and
plan.
what better way to kick the meeting for this year?
Yeah. So yeah, that's our general idea. How are you and how are things at your end?
That's kind of it's kind of monotonous. It's all the same, mechanical. But thanks to Toastmasters.
Oh yes, thanks to Toastmaster.
Yeah.
And now this is the month of competitions, area
Yeah.
contest. So
So hard.
exciting times.
Yeah, it's so hard to get people on board.
Mm,
They're all
tell me
busy
about
and
tell me
yeah,
about it.
yeah. Most of the people are also. I mean, most of the schedules are overlapping, so it's really hard to get.
Exactly, exactly. I mean, I give hats off to people who can manage, who are managing two clubs or three clubs. Hats off to them. I have no idea how they do that. But the weather is changing, which is I don't know, it's a good thing or it's a bad thing. I have no idea. Where do you stand on this? Do you like summers
Mm.
or do you like winters?
Well, I like summer. I like
Oh,
summer better than winter.
yes, I like summer babies. What is your month of birth?
July.
Oh, don't tell me that. You're a fellow Cancerian.
Um. Well,
Or you
my birthday falls on the Leo side.
oh, okay. Not too
Yeah,
bad, not too bad.
the latter. Yeah, the latter
Yeah,
part of
the
July
later part after 22nd.
and the later part of July. Yeah.
Mm, okay. I'm a Cancerian, standing on
Oh.
14th of July.
Today we are going to have a guest evaluator who is also a staunch believer of the stars, the horoscopes. DTM
Oh,
Sean.
nice.
Yeah, he
Ooh.
knows all about the stars.
Oh, nice. That's good. I can meet Dr. Sean
Good evening,
after this.
everyone.
Good evening,
Good evening.
Toastmaster Third.
How are you, Toastmaster Ferdinand? Welcome.
Good.
It's good to have all of you. Toastmaster Orwell, how are you? Welcome, sir. Welcome. BTM Roy, I love your hat. This cowboy hat. It's amazing.
Thank you. I'm still preparing my things.
Where have you been, DTM Roy? Just
I've
arrived
been
from work.
in. Why you ask?
Oh, I thought you just came from work.
Overpass elevator music.
kind of life is that?
Like
Why is that life?
the background. Like I really like.
It looks like spring.
Yes, good evening. Hello, Toastmasters.
Good evening.
Good evening. How are you all? Sorry, I'm a little bit late, I think.
No, you are very late. No, you're not. I'm joking.
I apologize for that.
Hello, hello, hello.
Ang ganda ng foundation mo ngayon, TM Harry.
Ilaw yan. Walang foundation. Ilaw yan, ilaw. Ganito pag walang ilaw. Ano ko? Yan.
Oh my
Walang
God.
ilaw yan.
Bakit?
Walang ilaw. It's so pale.
Oh,
It's so pale. Right?
ilawan mo. Para ka ililibig.
Kulang na lang ba ng salamin?
Hindi naman. Pumikit ka. Lagay mo ang kamay mo sa kwan. Okay.
Ano yung background mo? Bakit meron diyang lumot?
Tigil ka, hindi lumot. Ang sama-sama talaga nito, lumot daw. Palitan ko.
Team Lando. Team Lando. I can see you.
Hey. Shit.
DTM Roy. What are you doing there? Huh?
Sabi mo kasi palitan ko ang aking background.
It's like you're clubbering someone. It's like you're pinning him down. It's like you're pinning someone down.
Muntik na ako mahulog.
Are you changing your wallpaper?
Ikaw kasi. Because of you.
Where's our Vice President for Education? Good evening.
Good evening, Dr. Sean. How are you?
Oh,
Good evening, Gerard. How are you? Toastmaster Gerard.
DTM Sean is giving coffee.
Welcome.
Hi, good evening.
How
Alhamdulillah,
are you?
Asad. Good evening,
Hello.
everyone.
Good evening. President Michelle, if Toastmaster Lando
Yes, good evening.
will join us or not?
Sorry?
Yes, Toastmaster Lando, you can start.
How's that? TM
Yes.
Harris.
Please start. Initiate the meeting.
How's that, TM Harris? How's my background?
Oh, wait, let me check your video. I'm not looking.
All right, guys.
Hi, TM Lando.
Yes, good evening, fellow Toastmasters. How are you? To all our valued guests from different Toastmaster club and places around the globe, I hope everyone is well and in good health. Without further ado, and with my virtual cable, I now call this meeting to order. There's a quote said, don't let the entire staircase overwhelm you. Just focus on the first step. This is Toastmaster Lando Manuel, and it's my pride and honor to extremely warmly welcome all of you to our Toastmaster Club virtual meeting with the theme, My Heart Beats Only for You. Wow, sounds interesting and lovely. Am I right? The mission of the Toastmaster Club is to provide a mutually supportive and positive learning environment in which every individual members has the opportunity to develop their oral communication and leadership skills, in which in turn fosters self-confidence and personal growth. At this moment, before we proceed to our meeting, I would like to remind everyone to please mute your mic and turn off your video while listening to the speakers for the duration of the program. I would like also to remind everyone to avoid talking on 3 topics: sex, religion, and politics. And finally, to do the opening address, I would like to introduce to you and welcome on our virtual stage our Mabuhay Toastmaster Club President. She is also a licensed nurse, currently working as a flight attendant. Please join me to welcome with warmest round of applause Toastmaster Michelle Ninalga.
Thank you, Mr. Sergeant at Arms, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Welcome and good evening. It is my great pleasure and honor to have you all tonight joining us in our first club meeting of the year. This month of February, we all know that it is the love month. How was your Valentine's yesterday? I hope it is a wonderful day for all of us. Before we start, I would like to warmly welcome our ever-supportive clubs, PRTC and Spicers Club, for collaborating with our Mabuhay Club to have this club meeting and wonderful and successful one. Also for tonight, we have some early birds who joined us, namely our Toastmaster Carlo Eseo from Spicers Club, our vote counter, Muhammad Alcarni, DTM Roel Ontiveros, Toastmaster Orville, Toastmaster Asad Nakvi, our evaluators, Toastmaster Ferdinand Gueco, Toastmaster Barbara Benicarlo, DTM Rogelio Wenceslao, Toastmaster Ryan Balani, President, immediate past President Harry Mark Tolentino, and our Toastmaster of the evening, Toastmaster Harry Acedera. Before we move on to our next segment, with our theme, My Heart Beats Only for You, and before I introduce our Toastmaster of the evening, I would like to share what true love really means. It was shared to us by a spiritual father figure. He quoted that true love is an unconditional commitment. It is a choice, not a feeling, for feelings are just temporary. Unconditional commitment towards imperfect people that seeks their highest good, which often requires sacrifices that brings glory to our Creator. Further ado, our Toastmaster of the evening. He is a mechanical engineer by profession, the vice president for the public relations in Spicers Club, and a president as well in the newly club, which is the Philippine Society of Mechanical Engineers of Central Region of Saudi Arabia in the Area 1. who also was the winner in the Area 1 contest, second placer of speech evaluation, and third place in table topics. Let's all give a round of applause, Toastmaster Haris Asedera.
Thank you so much to our Madam President, Toastmaster Michelle Minyalda. Good evening, everyone, to our honored guests, to our welcome guests, and to our seasoned Toastmasters, to my fellow Toastmasters. Good evening, everyone. How's everyone? May I see everyone? Can you please turn on your cameras? And let me see those wonderful smile of yours. I do hope that the Toastmasters meeting tonight will give a reprieve for your very hectic and stressful day. Tonight, let us all forget that stressful day that we had, that all our routine in the morning. And tonight, let us just focus on the speeches for tonight. Before we proceed with our meeting, let me first start with a prayer. May I please request everyone for a moment of silence for a prayer. Dear God, we thank you for the opportunity for letting us be part of Toastmasters, where we hone our talents and abilities in public speaking. May you bless us so that we may use these skills in making this world better, in serving others, in leading fellows, and inspiring our loved ones. We gratify and praise you, Almighty God, forever and ever. Amen. Everyone, yes, I know that you are on mute, but can you please unmute yourselves and let us recite the Toastmasters motto? For better listening,
For better
better,
listening,
for better thinking,
for better thinking,
for better speaking.
for better
Better
speaking.
Speaking,
all together now, we learn
We
by
learn by
doing.
doing.
we learn by doing.
We learn by doing.
Thank you so much, everyone. Mr. Zoom Master,
Thank you
kindly
so
mute
much.
everyone. Tonight, it is a very
Harris, unmute yourself.
You are also mute, PM Harry.
I didn't know that even the Zoom Master muted me. Tonight is a challenging theme because the Vice President for Education chose My Heart Beats Only for You. It's a challenging theme because I might sound cliche. Yes, it is the love month. It is all red and pink. The aura of everyone is really red and pink, and everybody's really celebrating the love month. And for everyone, for each and everyone, it has a different meaning. Like in my case, love means freshly mint grass and also paperback books. Love can also mean the love for Toastmasters, the love for public speaking and leadership. Love can manifest in many different ways. Let me ask you, my fellow Toastmasters, our honored guest, what does love mean to you? From our team, My Heart Beats Only for You, I can say that my heart beats only for my family. As of the moment, they are my priority. And I believe that we always focus on one thing. We always focus on that one thing, and we can tell him or her or that someone that my heart beats only for you. Let us all celebrate a Toastmasters night with Mabuhay Toastmasters Club, and let us congratulate the last meeting winner. I believe the last meeting was held December 9th, 2020, and we had our club contest. Congratulations to all the winners, and may you all be blessed and represent Mabuhay Toastmasters Club in the area contest. Area 22 is slated to have its annual contest the week after next, or probably the next week on the 20. What's the next Friday? The next Friday is the 26th of February. All the best of luck to the contestants and contenders of Mabuhay Toastmasters Club in the area contest. We also have our birthday celebrators. And for this month, on the 28th of February, we have Toastmaster Andrew Labrador. Happy birthday, Toastmaster Andrew Labrador, in advance. At this juncture, may I ask our Vice President for Education for any program changes? Take it away, Mr. Vice President for Education. Toastmaster Red?
Changes will be for on behalf of TM
Yes,
Red,
Toastmaster Michelle.
Toastmaster Lilian Beldad won't be able to deliver her speech tonight. So that's just it.
All right, thank you so much, Toastmaster Michelle, for standing in on behalf of Toastmaster Red Hupilio and arranging the program for tonight. We have a jam-packed program for tonight. We have 3 speakers, and also we have table topic speakers for tonight. And we'll be listening to a plethora of speeches for tonight, and you'll be amazed at the topics chosen by our prepared speakers for tonight. For the benefit of our guests, a Toastmasters meeting usually have 3 segments. The first segment will be the prepared speech session, wherein a member of the club or Toastmaster will be delivering his or her project based on his project objectives. The second segment of the meeting for tonight is called the table topics session, wherein a table topics master will be asking questions or quotations. It will be expounded impromptu or unprepared for 1 to 2 minutes. And the third segment is the evaluation segment, wherein we learn from the valuable feedback of our season evaluators. Evaluators will be giving feedback, constructive feedback to our speakers from the prepared speech session and also from the table topic session. And sometimes, if the time allows, there are also some meetings that has the topics wherein it will be discussed by a specific Toastmaster, and it has wide range of topics that will be discussed for 10 to 15 minutes. But for tonight, we'll be having only 3 segments: the prepared speech session, the table topics, and also the evaluation. And running the program for tonight is not just only me, but together with other segment hosts. The next segment host is what we call the general evaluator. And to tell us more about his role is a seasoned Toastmaster. He is also a he is also an area and division champion, and he is one of the guiding lights in Toastmasters. He has mentored many a Toastmasters, and he is really known for his humor. For tonight, let us know him well and his function together with his team. Please help me welcome our general evaluator for tonight, distinguished Toastmaster Ruel Ontiveros.
Thank you very much, our Toast, Toastmaster of the evening. And yes, tonight we have a very special program because we have our speakers going to be delivering their speeches in a manner that will be delivered soon also in their as their contest piece. But for now, I am your general evaluator, and I am going to give the proactive evaluation. There are 2 kinds of evaluators that will be assisting me. The evaluators who will be evaluating the prepared speeches, and the meeting leaders who will be evaluating some details of the program. First, let us have them at the moment, starting with our grammarian, Toastmaster Bart Peñaranda. Our grammarian, are you there now? Can you please state your objectives as grammarian?
Point of order, that would be there's a sudden change in the program.
So instead,
It, it's yeah, Toastmaster Edward.
who will be?
It's me, Toastmaster Edward. DTM Roy.
Thank you very much, our ever supportive past president of Spicer Toastmasters Club. Let's put our hands together now and let's have Toastmaster Edward Lopez as our grammarian.
Thank you very much, Mr. General Evaluator. And as we work towards improving our commands of the English language, I shall serve as our word master and grammarian. Our word for tonight is paxiloquent. It's an adjective that means using a few words in speech or conversation. It may be used, for example, as follows. Jen has always been so paxiloquent. Most people assume he is mute. So colleagues, do use the word of the day in your speeches tonight, as I shall be taking note of those who do. Secondly, as your grammarian for the evening, I shall be taking note of any exceptional use of the English language. Similarly, I shall note the rather inappropriate uses of the same. Towards the end of the meeting, when called upon by the General Evaluator, I shall render my report. And back to you, Mr. General Evaluator.
Thank you very much for being hot seat grammarian, Toastmaster Edward Lopez. And next in line is our accounter. Let's welcome Toastmaster Orlando Villapana.
Thank you very much, Mr. General Evaluator. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow Toastmasters, guests, good evening. The purpose of the accounter is to note words and sounds that are used as crutch or post fillers by any one of you who speaks for us. Okay. During the meeting, I will listen for those overused words, including and, well, but, so, and you know. I will also listen for filler sounds like and I'll also note when a speaker repeats a word or phrase such as I, or this means. At the end of the meeting, when called upon by the general evaluator, I will report the number of times that each speaker used those expressions. So thank you, and back to you, Mr. General Evaluator.
Thank you very much, our accountant, Toastmaster Orlando. Next in line is our timer. Our timer is the current president of PRTC and always supporting, of course, the Mother Club. Let's welcome Toastmaster Alfred Reyes.
Thank you very much, Mr. General Evaluator, DTM Roy Itiveros, fellow Toastmasters, distinguished guests, friends, good evening. As part of the evaluating team, being your timer, my role is to remind all the speakers the time they have spent on their speeches, depending on their project requirement. For example, prepared speech, you are allotted 7 minutes. For table topics speakers, you are given 2 minutes. Speech evaluators, 3 minutes. Table topic evaluators, 6 minutes. Meeting leaders, 3 minutes. And all the speakers are given 30 seconds to wrap up your speeches. Speakers who exceed beyond time required, or shall I say, speakers who exceed time beyond the given grace period will not qualify for votation. I will present my report at the end of the meeting should I be called by the General Evaluator. That's it. Back to you, DTM Roy. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Of course, and finally, we need to hear also from our vote counter. Let's welcome Toastmaster Muhammad Al-Karni.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Good evening, Toastmaster and distinguished guests. As the vote counter for the evening, I will be collect and count all votes after the audience having voted for best prepared speaker, best table topic speaker, best evaluator, best segment host. Consists of Toastmaster of the evening and table topics master and general evaluator. I will not cast the vote during the entire meeting. I will only cast vote to break a tie if ever there may be. At the end of the meeting, when called by President Officer, I shall render the result. Back to you, General Fluid. Thank you.
Thank you very much for the support, always, Toastmaster Muhammad. And yes, at this point, I would like to remind everyone to please try to do something from your side to make this meeting a success. Number one is that we will post messages directly to the concerned if you think your message is not for everyone. This will not disturb all of us reading your message. Again, we ask that you put your audio device on silent mode if you are not called to speak. However, you are suggested to put your video open and try to react, something like clapping and smiling whenever we see later the speeches. Especially today or tonight, we have humorous speakers who's going to deliver their piece for their contest in the area. Furthermore, I ask everyone to please do not keep on moving or doing something on your screen. If you think that you are going to be leaving the screen at any time, try to put your video on hold so that you will see your picture, not a vacant screen. At the moment, we're not going to be telling you to do some side comments because I'm sure we cannot hear you, but we want everyone to please be supportive. And with that, later on, I'll be back again to give my final evaluation of the program. But for now, I wish you everyone to please enjoy tonight's meeting and listen to the speakers, especially the three prepared speech speakers. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster of the evening.
Thank you so much to our general evaluator, distinguished Toastmaster, Ruel Ontiveros. At this juncture, I'm really excited because there will be speakers tonight, and these speakers did not just prepare, but they really came prepared and is really dressed to kill, and they are armed to a war ahead of them. And this is a preparation for their respective contests. And tonight, let us hear first the evaluator of our first speaker before he delivers his speech. Let us hear his evaluator, distinguished Toastmaster Sean Louis Sabico, to tell us more about the project objectives of our speaker number one. DTM Sean, take it away.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters. I know I am dressed to sleep and not dressed to kill. There is no specific project objective for our first speaker, but rather, since this is for competition purposes, I would give him an objective, which is to inspire the audience. And good luck to you, Toastmaster Gerard. Mr. Timer, 5 to 7 minutes.
Thank you so much, DTM Sean Louis Sabico. And tonight, we'll be hearing our first speaker, Toastmaster Gerard Doctor. Spark. Toastmaster Gerard Doctor, speaker number one.
You have to find what sparks a light in you so that you, in your own way, can illuminate the world, by Oprah Winfrey. One Saturday morning, I woke up earlier than what I'm used to. Another day, I thought. I kept still, thinking of nothing, until a question pops into my head. For who are we waking up every morning? The answer came almost instantly. It's for the happiness of the people important in our lives, and we do what we have to do for them every single day. Contest master, fellow Toastmasters and guests, good evening. FYI, 1/3 of our life is spent at work, according to a study conducted in Pennsylvania. Its magnitude is so huge that it is vital for us to be in a job that we love. Setting biases aside, who among you here are in a job that they are excited to go to every morning? How about those who are very excited? Well, you know what? If you dread going to your job, find yourself constantly lacking motivation, or learning that you're living a monotonous life, then maybe you might want to consider igniting the spark. Igniting the spark will keep the fire inside us burning, and we can use it to fuel ourselves in discovering our own 2.0 version. Because staying in a job that we don't love will definitely make us unhappy, and it will also hinder us in realizing our full potential in life. Igniting the spark requires for us to know our passion. Different passion from different people can be found in so many different ways. Yet, finding our own passion is unique. It's not found overnight, but through a series of discovery of small interests. The only thing in common is passion is about the love in what we do. Working as a frontliner in this special time is both an honor and a responsibility. During this pandemic, a lot of us were put to test. The physical, emotional, and mental stress has reached its highest. Seeing a colleague being taken down by the disease and fearing for my own safety has become my everyday normal. There were already a lot of reasons for me to quit, but every day I choose to wear my uniform because it is during this time that I am reminded why I chose this profession. And that's because this is my passion. Saving lives, assisting someone to recovery, or even simply seeing a dying person relieve of pain and discomfort gives a different kind of fulfillment that no amount of money could ever give. My love for my work allowed me to always work hard and to always give my best. It allowed me to not settle and to continuously learn. Luckily, my hard work paid off. The spark I continuously ignite gave way for my promotion early this year to be a quality coordinator. Another story I want to share with you is a story of a friend who works in a prestigious hospital but still decided to quit her job to pursue her passion, which is baking. Initially, I thought she's wasting her education. But now, I for one could say that she made the right decision, as she is now one of the most sought after cake makers in our city. Our journey taught me that if we want to transform our lives and make it worthwhile, we should work on our passion. Some people wait for it, some are looking for it, while others, they may have missed it. Privileged are those people who work in a job that they love doing. But if you belong to those who don't, or if you want to discover a new passion and you want to pursue it, then I want you to know that it is never too late. Let us dare to dream. Let us dare to imagine endless possibilities, and let us dare to search for what we truly love. Because in the end, the possibility and probability can be a reality. And lastly, let's not be afraid to start from the dark, because sometimes the smallest spark can become the greatest light, enough to illuminate the world. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster of the evening.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Gerard. I have heard the speech a couple of times, and every time I hear it, it gives me goosebumps. Good luck on your next competition, and I do hope that you bring home the bacon. Our second speaker for tonight is also one to watch out for. However, before we hear him speak, let us hear first from his evaluator, Toastmaster Ferdinand Hueco, for the specific project objectives. Toastmaster Ferds, take it away.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the evening. First, I would like to commend our next speaker for being wise as he was able to credit his contest piece to his project number 2. Your speech objective is, let me just read your speech objective. The purpose statement rather of this project is for the member to present a speech on any topic, receive feedback, and apply the feedback to a second speech. The purpose of this speech is for the member to present a speech and receive feedback from me, your evaluator. Good luck, Toastmaster Marty. Back to you, Toastmaster of the evening.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Ferds. At this juncture, may I request everyone to please turn on your video, watch and be amazed to our second speaker for tonight, Toastmaster Marty David. Abnormal. Abnormal. Toastmaster Marty David, speaker number 2.
You are mute.
Toastmaster Marty, can you please unmute yourself? Your mic is still on mute.
Thank you, Mr. TOE, but I would like to clear that I am normal. I am totally fine. Good evening, everyone. Ladies and gentlemen, I said good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Do you think I'm crazy? I'm talking in front of my laptop and nobody's responding. Welcome to the new normal, where our lives became abnormal. I never thought that one day our lives will become abnormal because of this. Who among of you experience that you are already outside your house, but you forgot this? Who among of you experience that you are about to drink your coffee or eat your burger, but you realize that you are not wearing this, that you're still wearing this? Welcome to the new normal, isn't it? But if there's one thing that coronavirus did to Toastmasters, that is multitasking. You know, before, nowadays, we can cook, we can do laundry, or you even drive your car while attending our virtual meeting. Maybe some of you are having dinner right now, right? We don't know. One time, I attended our virtual club meeting. And that time, the segment was the table topic session, when the nature called me. So I rushed to the washroom to do a big deposit. While enjoying watching the table topic session, when suddenly the table topic master called me to answer the table topics. Mr. Marty, please open your camera. Here is your question. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to say, but I came to realize that my background is inside the office. It was so uncomfortable, but I managed to answer it completely with introduction, body, and conclusion. But I forgot one thing. I forgot to flash. Oh, what an embarrassing experience. But if there is the worst thing that coronavirus did to us, it destroyed our love and respect for each other. Before, shaking of hands is a form of respect. But now, if you touch someone, they will get mad at you. Before, sorry for that, sorry. When you do that, they will say, Alhamdulillah. But now, they will stare at you from head to toe like you killed someone. Instead of saying, God bless you, they will say, get lost, get lost. When we are sick, our mother are the ones who's taking care of us, right? But now, the whole community are concerned, not because they love you, but because they are afraid that you might spread the virus. I have a friend, a social media addict. He posted that he is sick. And we usually visit them to show our concern, right? But now, try to do it. If not, the ambulance will pick you to be quarantined. If there is one person who is immune to this virus without vaccination, that is none other than DTM, Roel Ontivirus. According to WHO, according to the report, COVID-19 killed more than 2 million around the world. So sad. But don't you believe that during quarantine, more than 100 million babies were born? That is the proof that the human being is more productive than any virus. Ladies and gentlemen, we are facing difficulties at this time. I don't know when we are going to live a normal life. But one thing for sure, that this pandemic will not last forever. So I wish that everyone will be positive. I mean, everyone will live positively in life. So please be careful and always take care. Over to you, Mr. Contest Master.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Martin David, for that. You really made me laugh. Thank you so much for that humorous speech of yours. And I saw some smiles from our audience. That's a good sign. It's really difficult no, to give a humorous speech in a virtual platform because you won't be hearing giggles, you won't be hearing laughter because everybody is on mute. However, seeing everybody smile and quiver in laughter sometimes, that's a good sign that your punchlines are working. I'll leave the evaluation to your evaluators later on, Toastmaster Marty David. And for our third speaker for tonight, is also one of the promising speakers of Mabuhay Toastmasters Club. But before we hear him perform, let us hear first from his evaluator, distinguished Toastmaster Rogelio Wenceslao Jr. Take it away, Toastmaster Rogie.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the evening. The purpose statement of our next speaker for tonight is to begin developing a collection of humorous stories and to present a speech that includes humor. His time is from 5 to 7 minutes. Good luck.
Thank you so much, distinguished Toastmaster Rogelio Wenceslao. Our third speaker for tonight, Toastmaster Ryan Balani. My oh my, my oh my, Toastmaster Ryan Balani, speaker number 3.
Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, distinguished guests, good evening. Following the quote of this meeting, how do you spell love? By Piglet. The answer is simple. You don't spell it. You feel it. That's Winnie the Pooh. And as Brian Brown says, vulnerability strengthens the relationship through mutual empathy and connection. Wow, that is how we start this very, very wonderful month of February. And now, back to the show. 3.5 decades ago, now at least you know my age, on a very, very early Monday morning, a bouncing baby boy was born. This baby boy was born in the world with all the love, all the smiles in the world. And I can actually say that he grew up to be a very, very loving, caring, charming baby boy. And how does he do all of these charms all the time? Well, it's simple. He does a lot of naughty stuff during his childhood years. And mind you, his parents and all the people that are around him are always telling him, oh boy, that baby boy is really a handful. The only way that he gets around with it is simple. You all can relate to this. Mommy, 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 mommy. All the hugs and kisses. For you, mommy, daddy, auntie, and uncle. Well, kids normally get away with all of those things. Simple, but very, very effective. As we all say, noise and laughter makes it bearable in a house. Well, I believe a long time ago, being a rowdy kid, not just only me, but most of you, I grew up in a house with a lot of vase, a lot of figurines, and a lot of ceramic plates. Whenever I see something, and there, the plastic edition in our house started. Wow, what a baby boy. And 2 years and 1 month, actually plus 4 more days, a new generation of this baby boy was born. Wow, he was a spitting image of this gentleman. Let me just share you this picture of this baby boy. If you all can see it, I know you are asking yourself, who is that guy? Which one was the new gen? Which one was the old gen? Well, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, my baby is a spitting image of yours truly. Cannot be denied. And because of those resemblance, because of those genes, for those things, it's as simple as this. Because I love the chicken dance when I was a young boy. You know chicken dance? Wow. It is simple as this. Ladies and gentlemen, let me share you again the that is a spitting image of what I was doing when I was his age. Wow. Something that you cannot deny. He is his father's son. I know I am cute when I was a kid. I am not anymore because I am handsome. Well, to tell you frankly, back in the days when I was a nuisance and I was a pain for my mom, I know some of you can relate. I know some of you can relate. I always get the judgment. What is the judgment? The belt. I know some of you are laughing down inside. Yes, I know you guys have experienced it. I have experienced it back in the days. The only difference between before and now is simple. Now, when my kid does something, out of the ordinary, I always tell him, hey, that's wrong. Okay, you don't want to listen. Face the wall. Face the wall. Once he faces the wall, he moves. He does this. And the very first thing that he will be doing is hug mommy, or hug daddy, or hug his older brother, or hug the one that is caring for him. And everything else is forgiven. Oh my, oh my. History simply just repeats itself. Well, what can I say? A good-looking boy to a good-looking man to a good-looking offspring. Well, thank you for listening. Back to you, Toastmaster of the evening.
My, oh my. That is very nostalgic. Thank you so much to our third speaker, Toastmaster Ryan Balani, for sharing that wonderful experience. At this juncture, let me call our timer if all the speakers are qualified. To our timer, Toastmaster Alfred Reyes.
Yes, Mr. Toastmaster of the evening, all of them are qualified.
Thank you so much to our timer, Toastmaster Alfred. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen, to our welcome guests and to my fellow Toastmasters. Please cast your vote amongst Toastmaster Gerard Docdor, Toastmaster Marky David, and Toastmaster Ryan Balani. Who do you think is the best prepared speech speaker for tonight? You may cast your vote via private message, or rather, yes, there you have it. You may now cast your vote. Just kindly disregard Toastmaster Lillian Beldad and click on submit button to record your vote. I believe there are only a few seconds before the poll is casted. So you must now cast your vote. There you have it, our first segment of the meeting, which is the prepared speech segment. At this juncture, we're going to witness the impromptu part of our meeting for tonight. It's very exciting. Also, our table topics master for tonight has something in store for us. Watch out for it. With no further ado, the immediate past president of Speakers of Pies Free Toastmasters Club, the innovative table topics master for tonight, no other than Toastmaster Harry Mark Tolentino.
Yes, fellow Toastmasters, distinguished Toastmasters, and honored guests, a very lovely evening to everyone. Our next segment is the most awaited, exciting, nerve-wracking, mind-boggling segment to every Toastmasters, the Table Topics segment. And for the benefit of the guest, Table Topics is a segment on which the Table Topics Master will ask questions about the theme, and then members are required to answer within 1 to 2 minutes. Toastmasters wants to challenge all members to develop their impromptu communication skills, to effectively think on their feet by answering unrehearsed questions. Table Topics is specifically designed to develop 4 essential communication skills: listening, thinking, organizing, and speaking. And tonight I will be asking questions about our team. My heart beats only for you. And the word for the day is pasiloquent, meaning using few words in speech or conversation. And do use the word in your speech. And with that, I have a pickup line for you. Are you table topics?
Yes.
Maybe. Because whenever I answer your question, my heart beats so fast. Fellow Toastmasters, when was the last time you experienced your heart beat so fast? And that is not yet a question of our table topics. And with that, let's start our table topics. And because it's Love Month and I love you all, I will give you some easy quotes related to our team. And participant will choose a box and a quote or a phrase, and then we'll answer the question. And remember, you should give your answer in 1 to 2 minutes. The timer will show green signal in 1 minute, then will show yellow signal in 1 minute and 30 seconds, then red signal in 2 minutes. Remember, 30 seconds beyond that, you are disqualified. You can think of an answer before beginning, and you do not need to tell the truth because there is no wrong answer. Fellow Toastmasters, are you ready?
Yes.
Yes.
Our table topic session. And as per our request of our presiding officer, I will call on the participants for the upcoming table topics area contest. And they are, we have 4 because of limited time. We have 4 table topics contestants. And I will choose. And I will choose the first. And the first contestant is Toastmaster Eduardo Lopez Jr., the rising star of Spicers. Master Eduardo? You there?
Oh my, oh my.
Yes, Toastmaster Eduardo. I have here some box. A box.
I'll choose number 5.
Your number 5. And this is your quote and the phrase or phrase. Love understands love. It needs no talk. Again, love understands love. It needs no talk. Please expound and prove to us this quote. Fellow Toastmasters, distinguished Toastmasters, and friends, our rising star, Toastmaster Eduardo Lopez Jr.
First of all, fellow Toastmasters, I want to greet you a belated Happy Valentine's Day to all of you. Good evening. Now imagine we have a date during this time. Maybe you can see yourself as talking to someone that you love because you are with them, obviously. But what are the things that you have said to your partners? Does it really connected to his or her heart? Have you become so paxiloquent that you just kept silent and you just showed the love that you have in your heart? Fellow Toastmasters, sometimes love cannot be expressed with 1,000 words, but sometimes a simple pat in the back, a simple, a simple touch on the face of your partner, and it will really mean a lot to them. Fellow Toastmasters, may it be to your parents, or to your friend, or to someone that you really love. Sometimes you have to show it by action, not just by words. Because as what a lyrics of a song is saying, words are only words. And it's a very pathetic lyrics as per me, honestly. Because if you only have words to satisfy your loved one, then what kind of love do you have? So fellow Toastmasters, if you really want to show the love that you have, show it. Show it by making him or her feel that you really love them. And avoid too much talk because sometimes promises made of words are meant to be broken. So fellow Toastmasters, always learn to love, not just by words, but also by action. Because action speaks louder than words, as what a very famous quote is saying. So fellow Toastmasters, when was the last time that you said, I love you to someone? Maybe you have said it hundreds or thousands times as of now. Fellow Toastmasters, that will be senseless if you will not show it to them. So fellow Toastmasters, let us love each other. And I love you all. Thank you very much. Back to you.
Thank you very much for that loving words, Toastmaster Eduardo Lopez Jr. And we may now call our next speaker. And I will spin the random wheel to get our speakers. Our next speaker, Toastmaster Ahmed Mohaisin, the coolest star. Toastmaster Ahmed, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Want him?
Please
Yes.
do a picture as soon as possible.
The one, that star, it's okay if you can change your star and anytime you want.
Oh, yeah. Sure,
And
good thing.
third, can you please choose a number between 1, 2, 3, 4, 6?
I'll go for my lucky number 3.
Your lucky number 3, and this is your code. Greater love has no one than this, than to lay down one's life for his friends. Again, greater love has no one than this, than to lay down one's life for his friends. Please expound this quote. Fellow Toastmasters, distinguished Toastmasters, and friends, our coolest star, Toastmaster Ahmad Mohaisin.
Fellow Toastmasters, good evening. Love has many forms. Love is not something that could mean to be in a relationship with someone. Love could be love for your parents. It could be love for your job. It could be a love for yourself. And it could be a love for your friends. It could take many forms. But in this form, the friendship form, it is a very rare one nowadays. It is very rare to find a true friendship between two people who need nothing from each other but to be good friends to one another. I've been through many friendships, and I've been through some where they just wanted you to use you for something. And it was pretty clear and evident at the end. They want something from you. And after when they get it, they leave. There are times when I stepped out for other friends, when I help them. I don't want to brag about myself that I'm the best friend ever. However, the best ones are the ones who stick even after you help them, or even after they help you with something you need. That's a true friendship. They help each other, but they don't expect anything from one another. That's all for me. I'm back to you.
Thank you very much to our coolest star, Toastmaster Ahmed Mohsen, for that very well said speech. Our next speaker, we'll check with our randoms between the two. Our random star, Toastmaster Asad Nakvi. Master Asad, here is your number. Please choose a number. 1, 2, 4, 6.
I would like to go with 4.
4.
Yes.
And your quote. Let us not love in word or talk, but in deed and in truth. Again, let us not love in word or talk, but in deed and in truth. Fellow Toastmasters, distinguished Toastmasters and friends, Toastmaster Asad Nakvi.
Let us not love in word or talk, but in deed and in truth. Fellow Toastmasters and beloved guests, this is the essence of the word love. What is love? When you feel something for others, when you feel that somebody else has to get priority over you, over your needs. And how do you express it? Facially? Subfacially? No, not only by words. You have to act upon and you have to show how you show your feelings towards your person. You have to do and act on your feelings and show them how you feel about it. When I think of this quotation, it reminds me of a time when I was down and under, and I was looking for people whom I could rely on and depend on. Yes, that was the time when I almost flunked my thesis defense in South Korea. It was an awful lot of time, but then there came a person in my life, my friend, my savior, who showed his love towards me. He showed me that you can do it. He instilled confidence in me. And it was just because of his love, his care, and his support that I was able to cheer myself up, get back into the groove, and defended my thesis successfully. Similarly, that was the lesson which I learned, and I tell you, and that is my takeaway for all of you in this 2.5 minutes, that act swiftly, and support people who need your help, your love, not only in your words, but by your actions, by your deeds. Back to you, table topic master.
Very well said. Thank you very much, Toastmaster Asad Nakvi. And for our last contestant or speaker, I believe only one remaining, Toastmaster Bernard Pareja. Founding Star, are you there? Master Bernard? I believe Toastmaster Bernard is not here. Maybe I can have a volunteer.
Can you try
One-
Toastmaster Michelle Ninyalga as she is also a contestant?
I can volunteer again.
Is it okay? Toastmaster Asad again?
May I request include
No,
Toastmaster?
go ahead with anybody else. If nobody is volunteering, then
Okay.
I'm your backup.
Who is our contestant in other clubs?
Toastmaster Michelle, please just raise the question.
Toastmaster Michelle?
Just read the question directly, please, so that they can practice without having to read the question.
Yes, Toastmaster Michelle, can you please pick a number?
The first one, please, number 1.
Number 1. And this is your quote or phrase. A person who always disturbs you is a person who loves you. Again, a person who always disturbs you is a person who loves you. Prove to us this quote. Fellow Toastmasters, distinguished Toastmasters, and guests, President, Toastmaster Michelle Ninyalga.
A person who disturbs you may oftentimes be the person who loves you. I agree. Sometimes people does not know how to convey their true feelings or intentions. Disturbing or annoying is one way of getting into one's system. I had some friends, not necessarily friends, not just friends, even relatives or colleagues who would do the same. They want some attention or affection. People tend to annoy us by doing this. Some of my colleagues would just bother with something, with sometimes even nonsense. I would appreciate taking their time to communicate. It means that I mean something to them, and I would gladly give my time. Quality time is a form of love language. We may not realize this. However, with some people, this is the currency of love. And with that, I agree that annoying someone, disturbing someone is a means to communicate love, to communicate affection. How about you, fellow Toastmasters? Do you have these people in your life? Or are you the one annoying some people? Let's keep annoying each other in a way that communicates love. That is all. Back to you.
Very well said, Toastmaster Michelle Ninyalga, for that disturbing answer, or shall I say, good answer. And with that, I believe all four our speakers, that is all for that. It's okay? Because of time constraint, we have all four speakers. So, Mr. Timer, are all participants qualified for voting?
They are all qualified, Mr. Table Topic Master. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And before I end my table topic session, I would like just to give my final thoughts about our topic, for which is love. And what is love? There are many different definitions of love. It can be defined as strong affection based on admiration for another person, a willingness to prioritize another's well-being or happiness above your own. But we must not forget what true love is. Love is patient, love is kind, and it does not envy, it does not boast, it is not proud, it does not dishonor others. It is not self-seeking. It is not easily angered. It keeps no record of wrongs. As the spiritual mentor said, the true love is an unconditional commitment towards imperfect people to seek their highest good, which often requires sacrifice for the glory of our Creator. And with that, it's my pleasure to be your table topics master for this evening. This is Toastmaster Mark Tolentino, who always loves Mabuhay Club. See you again. And now, return the control of the lectern to our Toastmaster of the evening, our eloquent star, Toastmaster Harris Acedera.
Thank you so much to our immediate past President, Toastmaster Harry Mark Tolentino, for that very innovative and inventive way of doing a table topics segment. At this juncture, you may now cast your votes amongst the four speakers. Our poll master, our vote counter, can you please post our poll? Cast your votes among Toastmaster Eduardo Lopez Jr., Toastmaster Asad Nakvi, Toastmaster Ahmed Muhaisin, and Toastmaster Michelle Ninyalga. For Toastmaster Michelle Ninyalga, you may cast your vote using Toastmaster Bernard Pareja. Just select Toastmaster Bernard Pareja for convenience sake. So the first one is Toastmaster Michelle. Select Toastmaster Bernard, and then Toastmaster Eduardo Lopez Jr., Toastmaster Asad Nakbi, and Toastmaster Ahmed Muhaisin. Cast your votes now before the poll master take it away. Oh wait, that was fast. See, there will be a message. The poll was closed before your vote was casted. So you have to be really fast. At this juncture, we'll be listening to the third segment of our meeting for tonight. And as what our motto says, we learn by doing. We learn by delivering our speeches, and we learn from the valuable feedback that will be given to us by our selected evaluators. And to lead the third segment, the evaluation segment, let me call back our general evaluator, distinguished Toastmaster Ruel Ontiveros. Take it away.
Thank you very much, Mr. Toastmaster of the evening. And yes, we are now in the segment where we will evaluate everything that transpired, all the speakers that have spoken here, and all about their speeches tonight. And we have the first set of evaluators who will be evaluating their speeches, the prepared ones, as well as the table topics segment. Let's welcome now the first evaluator. But before anything else, let me just say this. This is the part where the speakers are going to have their hearts beating faster than usual because their evaluators is going to really keenly observe each part of their speech, each part of their actions, and even your facial expression. With that, let's put our hands together now and let's welcome the first evaluator to evaluate the speech of Toastmaster Gerard Doctor, my very good friend, distinguished Toastmaster Sean Louis Sabico.
Thank you, Mr. General Evaluator. Good evening again, fellow Toastmasters. And can you show yourself, TM Gerard? Hello. This is not the first time that I heard your speech, but I can say there is a sharp contrast from the first time I heard it and tonight. Tonight, you are sharp. Tonight, I felt the passion in your speech, and I saw that enthusiasm that you are there to inspire. So those are the things that strike me the most from your delivery this time. Now, I didn't really dwell much about the speech itself, but I am going to dwell some of them tonight. Not all, maybe some, the rest will be on Thursday. But the first thing that I wanted to convey to you and that I hope you will consider is the title and the content of the speech. There is a big difference when you ignite a spark and when you keep the fire burning. There is no fire yet when you ignite a spark. So which is which? Are we igniting the spark here or are we trying to keep the fire burning? Passion and spark. If you ask me, I would consider keep the passion alive. So try to make the title about that. And another thing, when you try to give information about statistics or some figures, try to be more explicit or add more detail to add more credibility to the data. Don't just say a survey was done in Pennsylvania. Say something like in 2019, a survey done by the US Bureau of Labor and Statistics indicated that a third of Americans are actually, or majority of the Americans are working most of their times or a third of their daytime. And that is a lot considering that it's an industrialized country. That is why it is such a compelling case that you learn to love your work. And then also add some humor. I would say let Oprah I saw yesterday maybe go for an icon which is more in touch with them or appeal to the audience, like maybe Sadhguru for our Indian judges, or introduce it with humor, because humor is also lacking in your speech. Say someone inspirational and a legendary icon such as Justin Bieber once said, "Never say never," or Lady Gaga once said, "Don't give up." I don't know if that will appeal, but at least add some humor in speech. Finally, I think it is very timely that you are a frontliner, and I want you to deal more on that. Focus on the originality that you are a frontliner, remove the rest, because being a frontliner, that screams originality in your story, and that will attract more of the audience. How you became a frontliner, what keeps your passion burning. Say that even if you are dressed your uniform, even if you look like a minion from the Despicable Me, you still love it because you were born to care. And isn't it a privilege to be paid on what you are born to do? And with that, I wish you the best of luck in your area, and I want to hear it again on Thursday.
Thank you.
Back to you, Toastmaster Roy.
Thank you very much, distinguished Toastmaster Sean Luis Sabico, for that really detailed evaluation of Toastmaster Gerard. I will not be evaluating yet or commenting on the evaluation. Later on, we will do that. Let's go now to the evaluation of Toastmaster Marty's abnormal speech. Let's put our hands together now and let's welcome Toastmaster Ferdinand Gueco.
Thank you so much, Mr. General Evaluator. Fellow Toastmaster, to our distinguished guests, and to our abnormal, oh, kidding aside, it's a normal speaker for tonight, Toastmaster Marty Ibias David. What do I like about your speech was definitely there's a lot of improvement from the first time I saw it. There is a balance of humor and a touch of motivating and inspiring at the end of the story, which is a plus factor for a humorous speaker. Second, you have this natural way of making people laugh, which is very uncommon to everyone else. Not everyone has this natural humor that they can share it with the audience. And third, I really like the content. I never thought that pandemic can give us a laughter and motivation at the same time. I never thought that pandemic will only cause a problem. But upon hearing your speech today, it was really give me a lot of positive vibes. Thank you for sharing that wonderful humorous speech. But if you allow me to add some, if you have allow me to add some tips on how to improve and elevate further your humorous speech on your contest, the first thing I observe is, of course, the presence of mind. It might be a practice, but you have to be aware of the audio. Maybe you are too much excited and you forgot that you turned on the audio, and we will miss the entire opportunity that you will make us laugh. Second, the transition. I felt there are some things that you need to improve when it comes to transition. For example, you are discussing about the precautionary measure, and then suddenly you put us in a table topic setting. I think you can work on it to connect easily so that people will not be confused in the flow of your transition. Second, your pausing. When your transition already, the punchline is excellent, but I felt this, the pausing is not yet consistent throughout the delivery. There are times that you are way too fast from your transition to another. So try to pause for a while. You have a lot of humor to share to us. Try to let us feel and make us laugh more often, even though you cannot see everyone during the entire, but let us just think of it that we are laughing at the backside. So try to use that pause, try to capitalize that pause very well, especially when you are a humorous speaker. But overall, the vast improvement that I observed, the content, the speech title, the confidence that you showed us, just try to polish the areas that I suggest to you, especially the pausing, the transition, and definitely you will be again our division champion. Who knows? This time you will retain the crown. Back to you, Mr. General Evaluator.
Yes, yes, yo. Of course, we're going to get back our trophy, our crown. And we're going to listen now to the next humorous speech of Toastmaster Ryan Balani. And let's put our hands together now and let's welcome distinguished Toastmaster Rogelio Wenceslao's evaluation. Over
Thank you
to you.
so much, Mr. General Evaluator. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters, and to Toastmaster Ryan. Here is my evaluation. Let me start with the my, oh my, things which you were very good at. Let me start with the exaggeration. I would like to commend you for emphasizing and having this mode wherein you are exaggerating, because this is a humorous speech, and one mark of a humorous speech is to make things bigger, to exaggerate, to be animated as much as you can. And for that, kudos. The facial expression was really on point. I could see exactly the scene as you have described it to us when you were a kid compared to your baby. And then the vocal variety was excellent. And with that, I also have my oh my things which I think you have to consider in my humble point of view. First, let me start with the technical aspect, the audio. I I found it too loud. Maybe you can start by checking first the audio, even if I don't know if you are going to join the contest for this, or even if it's just an ordinary club speech, you have to check your audio well if you are sounding too much or maybe not audible enough. So I find it a little loud for me. Now, when it comes to the enunciation, it would require me some familiarity, perhaps, that I will understand. Because, you know, here in Saudi Arabia, especially, we are not English speaking, it's not an English speaking country. Sometimes when we get too fluent, it gives us a nosebleed that we don't understand sometimes. I understand you're very fluent, and sometimes it can, the accent or the enunciation can have a problem on understanding. So that's just a little suggestion. You try to make it conversational and consider the audience you are delivering it with, especially if they have limited vocabularies or if they have, let's say, not familiar with the cadence or the rhythm. Sometimes you can get a little fast when you speak. It's like I'm listening to a call center agent, but it doesn't mean you're not fluent. I just want you to consider the audience, to be more considerate of their vocabularies, and at the same time the way they would listen to you. But overall, I believe the exaggeration of the speech, the facial expression, the vocal variety was very top notch. And just have to look on the technical aspect of it and the consideration on the enunciation. Back to our general evaluator.
Thank you so much, distinguished Toastmaster Rogelio Wenceslao. And yes, the host had muted me because I'm laughing from my part. Now, first, before we go to the evaluation of the table topics speakers, let me just give my comments to the first three speakers. You are representing your club on international speech and in humorous speech. You are a notch higher than what you have been doing in the club. And I firmly believe in the evaluation of our evaluators in making you elevate your speaking skill. First, on Toastmaster Gerard, lights. Put lights in front of you, there is a shadow in your face. I suggest you try to have some light before you. And I agree with that. You're too serious in your speech. I agree, put some humor. And really, the last part, the call to action. I find it lacking. Toastmaster Marty, yeah, I think the coherence. The question here is that which follows what? What follows which? From your speech. It's not just a cacophony of something funny, putting in this, and then you remember something, putting in this, and then again, something like that. We have to put something centering on that idea of abnormal. And then finally, Toastmaster Ryan Balani, it's a little bit, let's just say, you're funny. Your face is funny. Your vocal variety is funny, but the speech itself is not funny. Sorry to say about that. I love your actions, but you have to put some exaggerations on the words. Give simple words, but give also something that will make people laugh really from where they are. And other than that, of course, you will not like me with what I have said, but really, we want you to do better in your area contest. Now, which leads me now to the evaluation of the 4 table topics speakers who are also representing their club. First, to evaluate the first 2 speakers is Toastmaster Barbara from Big Pariad Toastmasters Club. Hit it on.
Thank you very
Toastmaster
much,
Barbara.
distinguished Toastmaster Roel, and good evening, fellow Toastmasters. So, good evening to our table topic speakers. My first speaker is Toastmaster Eduardo from the Spicers. Before anything else, I'd like to ask you, in loving, do we need to be posiliquent? The question of Toastmaster Eduardo is love understands love, it needs no talk. I would like first to start with something that I really wanted to commend on your speech is you were able to set some few examples on how to express your love without speaking it. And I also love the way you ended your speech when you say I love you. So everyone must answer I love you too. It really nice to end up every speech with that love concerning our theme for tonight is about love. And also the clarity of your voice. We can clearly understand what you are saying. And then you ended also with a quote that action speaks louder than words. Let me start with good points for both of my target speakers. For Toastmaster Ahmed, I love when you say that love has many forms. And I believe that you do understand that you can express love in so many ways. And the clarity of your voice, how you pronounce the words, are really clear to us. I would like to move on because for the benefit of our contest, I'd like you to work on your technicalities. Toastmaster Eduardo and Toastmaster Ahmed, we know that we are in a virtual platform. As what I have observed, you are not looking in your camera. Our theme for tonight is about love. I'm sure you have experiences of talking to your loved one. And it's very important when you talk or when you wanted to say something to her because you are all males. It is very important to look them in their eyes like this. So, like your cue is one step forward, one step backward, one step the right and left. That is your space that you will be visually seen in the camera. It is very important that when you wanted to express something, you can move your hands very close to your camera. In that way, people who are watching you would really feel you can convey properly or you can convey expressively what you wanted to say. Then please don't sit down when during the contest you need to stand up, and your hand gestures are very important because this is also one way of letting them feel what you wanted to say. And if I may suggest also, you can put a cue card there in front or at the top of your camera saying, "Look at me," or two eyes, so that it will get your attention that you need to look in the camera. Nevertheless, that's the one thing that I would like to suggest to you both. And I would like to end this evaluation by saying that love is not so complicated, but lovers are. So, my dear fellow Toastmasters and target speakers, please remember to always share your personal stories in every table topic. And that would be all. Back to you, our general evaluator, distinguished Toastmaster. Well,
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Barbara, for that quite really extensive evaluation with lots of suggestion. Next in line to evaluate the third and fourth table topics speakers. Let's put our hands together now to my favorite bully. Oh no, my friend, Toastmaster Carlo Eseo. Come on down.
Thank you so much, Mr. General Evaluator. And good evening, my fellow Toastmasters, and to my target speakers for tonight, Toastmaster Assad and Toastmaster Michelle. Let me evaluate you guys by dividing my evaluation into two. First one is those that I like the most, and the second one is something to points for us to be better and elevate our speeches further, especially that we are contesting for area contest. Toastmaster Assad, what I like the most in your speech is that I like how thesis-like your speech was by first dissecting your speech into the theories or theoretically, and by defining your subject matter, and by also delving on the practical aspect of your subject matter by rendering or sharing as your personal stories. Kudos, and that's very commendable. What I do not like though, or I less like on your speech is your eye contact. It seems to me that you are looking on the screen and not on the camera of your unit. To Toastmaster Michelle, I like how straightforward your speech was. Sometimes the table topics question is just asking us to whether agree or not agree, yes or no. And at the onset of your speech, you straightforwardly said you did not, or you agree with the subject matter. I like also how wisdomful your speech was. What I do not like though on your speech is that you were just sitting on the couch. For Toastmaster Assad and Toastmaster Michelle, while you two are already good and eloquent speakers, I would like you to be bigger and to elevate further your speech by at least considering the points that I will be discussing to you right now. First is to animate your speech. Put some theatrical actions to your speech. Be bigger than life, if I may say. Sometimes the judges would like you to like perform some acrobats if you want, if you may. And also, I would like you guys to find a spot virtually that you are comfortable to, be it sitting or standing, so long as it will help you deliver and convey the message of your speech. But as I've said, I would like you also to animate and be theatrical. Also, I would like you to maximize the power of vocal variety. This is very elementary, but sometimes when we are like or nervous, we tend to forget these things. I would like you to color your canvas by the power of by the power of incorporating the harmony of your vocal prowess. Next, this may be kind of cliche, but I want you guys to pack some handful of quotes in whatever topic you can think of. Like, for example, family. You can perhaps search some quotes regarding family, or perhaps wisdom, happiness, etc. So that if the topic's about that, well, very lucky for you, you already have some quotes with you. This will help you, especially if sometimes you run out of words or you run out of topics. At least you already have some words of wisdom in your pockets for you to utter and convey to every one of us. Other than that, I want you also to remember to have a very impactful introduction, body, which is full of personal stories, and of course, a boom conclusion and takeaway. Other than that, I believe you two are champions in the making. Keep it up, and back to our general evaluator.
Yes, thank you very much, Toastmaster Carlo Eseyo, for that evaluation on the two table topics speakers. May I ask now our timer if the five evaluators are qualified to be voted upon as best evaluator?
Yes, Mr. General Evaluator. All of them, you can include them in your rotation.
I'm sorry to disagree, Toastmaster first, but I think the two table topics speakers are both not qualified. They
How,
have more than 3.5 minutes each.
if
But anyway, you said that they are all qualified. Let's cast our votes now for the all the evaluators. Now, at this point, I ask all our meeting leaders to be ready from where you are. I'm giving you 1.5 minutes to give your, or 1 minute each to give your report, starting with our grammarian, Toastmaster Eduardo Lopez, please.
Thank you very much, Mr. General Evaluator. Now, as for our word of the day, it was mentioned by only two people. It was me and Toastmaster Barbara. And for the good usage of English language, I focus more on the symbolism on every speech that they have. For Toastmaster Gerald, the symbolism of the dark and the spark, which means about the dark times of our lives and the inspiration respectively. For Toastmaster Marty, the symbolism of the discharge when he used the word deposit and call of nature. For Toastmaster Ryan, the belt that symbolizes the judgment. For Toastmaster Michelle, for the currency of love, which is the symbolism of annoying and disturbing. Now for the rest, for Toastmaster Ahmed will be the love, the flow of words, the love for parents, love for job, love for self, and love for friends. And lastly, the quote that was mentioned by Toastmaster Barbara, love is not so complicated, but lovers are. I like that. And now, in general, for the bad usage of the English language. Now, in general, I focus more on the pronunciation, although it's not a part of the grammar, but on pronunciation, especially to those to my fellow Filipino Toastmasters there. So be aware of the pronunciation, of the interchangeability of the word of the letters P and F, the V and B, and the S and Z. So be more careful on that when you are mentioning it. Also, some commentable words like laundry. So I believe it should be laundry. The whole, I believe it should be whole. So, and that would be all. And thank you very much. Back to you.
Okay, that's quite expansive, Toastmaster Edward. Let's now go to our accounter, Toastmaster Orly, please.
Thank you very much, DTM Roy, our general evaluator for tonight. My report will not be that long. For the first is for the Sergeant at Arms. He has one long pose. And for our Toastmaster of the evening, Toastmaster Harry, Harry Sacelera, he has just one off. For our speaker number one, speaker number two, Toastmaster Marty David, he has two repetitions and just one long pose. And finally, for our table topic speaker number one, Toastmaster Ed Lopez, he has just one repetition. And that's all my report. And back to you, Mr. General Evaluator. Thank you very
Thank
much.
you very
Good
much,
evening.
Toastmaster Orly. And now we go now to the timer. Please, Toastmaster Alfred, the name of the participant and the number of minutes and seconds they spent.
Thank you very much, Mr.
Toastmaster Alfred.
General Evaluator. This is my report for prepared speech session. Toastmaster Gerard Doctor spent 5 minutes and 45 seconds. For Toastmaster Marty David, 6 minutes and 56 seconds. For Toastmaster Ryan Balani, 6 minutes and 42 seconds. For table topic session, Toastmaster Eduardo Lopez spent 2 minutes and 13 seconds. Ahmad Muhaisin, 1 minute and 30 seconds. Toastmaster Asad Lakbi, 2 minutes and 27 seconds. Toastmaster Michelle Ninalga, 1 minute and 35 seconds. For the evaluation session, TTM Sean Sabico spent 3 minutes and 10 seconds. Toastmaster Ferds Gueco spent 2 minutes and 58 seconds. Toastmaster Roji Wenceslao, 3 minutes and 20 seconds. And the uh, last two evaluators, Toastmaster Barbara spent 3 minutes and 52 seconds. And Toastmaster Carlo Reiseo spent 4 minutes and 11 seconds. For the meeting leaders, for the grammarian, Toastmaster Ed Lopez spent 1 minute and 43 seconds. For the accounter, Toastmaster he spent 41 seconds. That will be all. Thank you, Mr. General Evaluator.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Alfred, for that quite detailed. Even the meeting leaders are being timed now. Congratulations. And now for the meeting in general, we started a little bit late. So now we are trying to rush. We still have 5 minutes, and I'm not going to stretch that much. And with that also, we are not going to be voting on the best meeting leader anymore. And the meeting is also greatly used and expounded by the topic used by our Toastmaster of the evening. Congratulations to that. A little bit lengthy, but you can still shorten that. And that's Toastmaster Harris. Now for Toastmaster Harry Mark Tolentino, a little bit point that we may consider in here. We know already the 4 speakers or the 5 speakers. And so we don't have to rotate anymore the Chambiolo because we know we can use that actually if by surprise we don't know who the speakers are. Also, since these are table topics contestants for the area, I really suggest that we can give them some time to think, not so they can look from where they are, the next question that they will answer. We are trying to practice them so that they can be ready when this coming Friday. So I really suggest next time when we are trying to practice contestants, let's try to pretend that we are also in a contest manner. However, if we are now going back to the normal Toastmasters meeting, then let's have that bonggang jambiolo, and so that we can have a surprise to those the next speaker. And with that, I think we don't have so much now for all the speakers. Please take note of the suggestions of the evaluators. They've been there and they know how it feels to be in the area, later on in the district, and very few of us to the district. And with that, back to you now, Madam Presiding Officer, Toastmaster Michelle Dinyalga. Or to our Toastmaster of the evening, I should say, Toastmaster Haris
Thank you
Asidera.
so much, Mr. General.
Point of order, can we please cast our votes amongst the best evaluators? For our vote counter, can you please flash the poll right now so that we can choose who among the best evaluators?
Point of order, Mr. Toastmaster of the evening, we have already launched the poll for the best evaluator.
We're finished actually.
Oh, we're finished already. All right. Thank you. Thank you for that,
Because
Mr. Vote
evaluators
Counter.
already been casted.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Vote Counter. At this juncture, let me just leave you some final words. Love is it should always be natural. Whatever you want, whatever you like, go for it. It should be your passion. Go for your passion. Go for what you really love. And it's not just about the love month. Love should always be expressed in our daily lives, be it to your friends, to your colleagues, to your parents, to your siblings. Express it dearly on your daily lives, not just on February 14 or the love month every February of the year. It should be daily in our daily lives. With that, it has been a pleasure being your host. This is Toastmaster Harry Tisidera, returning the control of the virtual lectern to our presiding officer, Toastmaster Michelle Minyalda.
Thank you so much, our Toastmaster of the evening, President Haris Acedera, for your parting words. Fellow Toastmasters, once again, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Special thanks to PRTC and Spicers for making this our first club meeting of the year a successful one. Thank you also for our speakers, meeting leaders, evaluators, and segment hosts for doing a job well. We would like to invite you again on our next club meeting next week, Monday, February 22. We will also get all the area contest before we address and call our vote counter. We would like to also call a special welcome for an inspirational message to our Region 11 advisor is none other than DTM James Taruk.
Thank you. Thank you,
DTM
Madam.
James.
Thank you, Madam President. Thank you for the invitation. I have no special message for all of us. Just would like to um, emphasize the quote that I have shared in the Region 11 page, which is love is where leadership begins. So just try to do an introspection of ourselves today and try to find out the reason. What do you carry in your leadership? Is it love, purpose, or passion? I guess at the end of the day, it's the most important thing is love. So always carry that one when we serve others, when we fulfill our roles, when we uh, conquer our challenges. It all boils down to love. With that, thank you and stay safe, everyone.
Thank you, DTM James, our Region 11 advisor, for carrying that love with you always and bringing it tonight in our club meeting. We would also like to hear from our area director, Area 22 director, our immediate past president, DTM Brian Joshua Jimenez. DTM Brian, are you still there? All right, I think he's on another meeting also. With that, can we call our vote counter, please, to announce our winner?
Point of order, Mr. Presiding Officer. Let me just check. I think we did not launch the poll for the best segment host yet.
Okay. Can we launch the poll? While we are waiting for our results, I would like to share again and to resonate
the meaning of love again, I would like to also cement what DTM James mentioned, that is it really love that we carry in our leadership? We will all be given a chance to lead. We will be given an opportunity to lead, not just to lead and also to support. It is a good question, DTM James, if we are really driven by love, or also with purpose. And it is mentioned earlier that true love is a choice, it's not a feeling. Sometimes we even don't have that feeling to deliver a speech, to be a segment host, or to be part of a meeting. However, if we are driven by love and not by feelings, eventually we'll get there. And that is all, waiting for our results.
Madam President, if we have time, can I make an announcement?
Sure.
Well, as we all know, that
Yes,
renewal
please.
period is going on. So I request all Mabuhay Toastmasters members to please renew your membership and please come forward with your dues. It will help us, it will help the club, and it will help us grow bigger and stronger. So that is all. And this is also on behalf of all the VP memberships of 3 or various clubs who are sitting. People, go ahead, go back to your VP memberships, pay your dues, and support your clubs. And let's move on to better Toastmasters activities. Thank you so much.
Thank you, our Vice President for Membership, Toastmaster Asad, for that reminder. Now we can call our vote counter to announce the results. Toastmaster Mohammed Al-Karni.
Yes. Good evening again. The best prepared speech speaker is Mr. Marty David. The best table topic speaker is Michelle, President Michelle. The best evaluator is Juan Luis. The best segment host is Harris Asedra. That's it.
Thank you, Tia Muhammad Al-Karni, for announcing our winners, and congratulations to all. I know you did your best, and I believe we will all perform our A game on the area contest. And surely we will be our great support to one another. Spicers and PRTC, Mabuhay will always be your great support. And thank you so much, fellow Toastmasters Club meeting. To see you all again next week, Monday. And that is all. Our meeting is adjourned. Thank you and good evening.
Photo.
Yes, let's take a photo, please. Kindly open your cameras.
Who's taking the photo? I have to raise my hand down. Put my hand down.
Okay, so kindly wait. And 1, 2. Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys. Good night.
Thank you and good night.
Thank you.
Thank you and good night. Thank you and good night.
Good night.
Regional
Good
advisor,
night.
James Saru. Everybody, thank you, Lord.
Good night. Thank you. Thank you.
James.
Good night. Good night. Thank you, Toastmaster Asedra.
Toastmaster Michelle, anyone who is available on Wednesday, speakers of Paisoy at Toastmasters Club needs evaluators. I still need 4. If you can indulge me with your time on Wednesday, I need volunteers for as evaluators.
Bye.
Evaluator.
No.
Noted.
Bigla
Only
alis si James.
Only
Bye.
evaluators?
Yes, madam. Yes, madam. I need 4 evaluators to join me. I'm one of them. So I need 5 evaluators.